Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and we have some breaking news. This is literally, this report came at 12:02. As I'm recording this, it is 12:12, so literally 10 minutes between this breaking and me getting this up for you. Hundreds of jobs will be lost, it looks like, as Grangemouth, Scotland's only oil refinery, will be closing by 2025. It's a brand new story. It's not a big piece, and it will probably grow and change as more information comes to light. But this is a massive blow. It's one of the country's few oil refineries, and it's I would suggest something that needs to be reversed. National security, if nothing else. We need to be able to refine our own oil rather than rely on sending oil abroad to be refined to import it back. It's a bad move. We're going to need the oil. This is bad for everyone, not least the economy. Now we're going to take a look at the story very quickly, see what's going on. But as I say, it's new, it's breaking, and it's likely to change as time goes on. But here goes. So hundreds of jobs set to be lost as Scotland's only oil refinery in Grangemouth is to close by 2025. The refinery is responsible for 4% of the country's GDP, but it will close down by spring 2025. The UK and Scottish governments will work with unions to try and save jobs. I think rather than closing it, it perhaps needs to be bought. I absolutely think that this is one of those occasions where it needs to be nationalised, simply for national security. We have to have the ability to refine our own oil in the event of major international problems. I think this has got to be reversed, or at least nationalised. Hundreds of jobs are expected to be lost as Grangemouth Refinery prepares to close down in a shock move. The only operating crude oil refinery in Scotland, and one of only 6 remaining in the UK, supplies 80% of the country's fuel. The refinery in Falkirk is responsible for 4% of Scotland's GDP and approximately 8% of its manufacturing base. This is massive. You just can't get over the scale of what this means. Refinery operations are expected to cease in under 18 months in spring 2025. It's no time at all. You're literally giving these guys like a year, just over a year, to deal with this. And there's nothing that can be done, I think, unless it, like I say, it's nationalised. It's the only way. Owners Petro-Ineos, a joint venture between PetroChina and Ineos, said the site would become an important distribution hub. Unite, the union, said it would work with both the Scottish and UK governments to save jobs. This news will come as a shock to the local community, but Unite is going to do everything it can to protect jobs in this vital industry, the Unite Scottish Secretary said. It could mean a transfer over to different parts of the business, but just now it's too early to go into details. They need to just go bang. No, tough shit, we're not allowing it. You either continue it or you forfeit the site with immediate effect and we take it over as a matter of national security. That is something you have to look at. It's a shock, isn't it? It's just such a big business. Anyway, the business said demand for the fuels it produces was expected to decline and that energy transition was well underway. That's bullshit, because even if every car in the world, every single car in the world was electrical, you're still going to need shitloads of oil, you know, for your carpets, for your glasses, for your clothes, for lubricants. What's the matter? Hungry? Well, that's because you haven't got any food. Why haven't you got any food? Well, the machines that grind all the material, they run on electricity, but they're grinding, they need lubricants. Without those lubricants, they ain't going to work. Okay, what about this? What about that? There's a million different things that you need oil for. No international travel, you know. You can't import stuff. So that's the end of the your fashion industry's gone. You know, you can't move stuff all around the world. Ships, they're lying in port because they won't work because there's no oil. It's bullshit about the falling use of oil. Falling use of petrol, falling use of diesel, but that's not what oil is. Oil, that's only a little bit of it. And what are they going to do with the petrol and diesel? No one has ever answered. It's ridiculous. It is understood Petro-Ineos spoke with the Scottish Government and unions on Tuesday after briefing staff earlier in the day. And yet it's taken until today for that to come out. The Scottish Government was sitting on that quietly. What were they going to do? Wait until after the November speech, or the autumn statement from Jeremy Hunt, and then say it was Westminster's fault? Bullshit. Refinery manager Russell Mann said, "We anticipate that works necessary for import flexibility at Finnart and Grangemouth will take around 18 months to complete, and our current intention is to continue refinery operations until spring 2025 and potentially beyond." Mr Mann said the plans to transition Grangemouth to an import terminal had been ongoing with shareholders for months, and we will shortly begin work to modify our infrastructure so we can. This is bollocks. If you don't have the ability to distill your own oil, refine your own oil, then you are at the mercy of a foreign government. And we all see how bad that is when you only have to look at Germany. They now rely on Russia for their gas. So not in a good position, is it? This is madness. Madness to allow this to happen. Not just the jobs, but what it actually represents in terms of energy security. And believe you me, there'll be petrol cars running on this in this country for at least the next 50 years. And that's just fuel. That's not all the other stuff that you use oil for. Plastics, medicine, farming, lubricants, travel, transport. Railways can't work without oil. Airplanes can't work without oil. Nothing works without oil. This is short-sighted and stupid. Tell the Chinese to piss off, basically, and buy it out. Not even buy it out, snatch it. Just nationalise it immediately and give them nothing. Anyway, I'm going to round it off and come up, but I'm just so angry about this. This is just out of the blue, and the Scottish Government knew about this yesterday and said nothing, and it's only come out now. They were waiting, weren't they? And they were going to blame this on Westminster. Sods. Anyway, sorry, that was just breaking news. Like I say, this is just my really fast hit. This really is a hot take on it. Angry about it, but what do? As more information comes along, we'll try and expand upon it. But you don't have to feel sorry for the engineers and the guys working there. Coming up. Yeah, as I say, it's one of those just sort of fast hit breaking news stories. So it's not actually part of the stories I was planning to do today. So I'm just throwing it out now in between my sort of hourly stories. But yeah, that is big news. That is a huge loss. It's a huge loss in terms of jobs, in terms of skilled jobs, in terms of what it represents for energy security, for what it represents in terms of turnover, engineering, all the supply lines. This is massive, and it comes just at the wrong time. And I think if Humza Yousaf has the balls to do it, which we know he doesn't, old Ken Doll, but if he had the balls to do it, he'd nationalise that right away, take it into private ownership, into public ownership, and tell the owners to go sod it off, and that they'll deal with it themselves. Not going to do it though, is he? Scaredy cat. Oh well. Sorry about that. Normal service will be resumed. Anyway, I just thought I'd get that one out to you. So thanks very much for watching, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.